What's up, guys? So the other day I asked for you guys for video ideas, and I got one that I think is going to be a good one. So today we're going to be talking about common problems with the Eaton M90 Superchargers and things to look out for. So to demonstrate where some of this stuff is and what you should look for, we're going to be using the 97. So if you look over here, okay, so some common things to look out for. First of all is the infamous blower rattle. If you hear something that sounds kind of like spark knock, sort of a light rattly noise that's coming from right in here, most likely that is the coupler between the Snout and the supercharger. I have a video on replacing that, so check that out, but it's not very difficult. Another thing is you want to check your fluid level here, and if this fluid level is dropping, there are two common places where this can leak. One is the joint between here, which you'll see down there. The other is actually the snout seal in the end. Usually with that, you'll feel fluid back here on the underside of where the pulley is. So there's a couple things there. Now, you can sometimes have the bearings in the snout go bad, or the bearings here, which will normally make noise. But one thing to look out for, especially on these older ones, is see this alternator bolt right here and this support bracket. If this bracket is not there, or this bolt right here is not tight enough, this will make a hum, like a vibration, that will sound an awful lot like snout bearings. So make sure that this bracket is always here and that this is tightened all the way if you think you may have a snout problem. But that is one thing to watch for. Another issue, if you take this throttle body off and put it back and then wind up with any kind of vacuum leak, make sure you take it back off and recheck, because a lot of times when you take this gasket out, it will tear, and if there's even a small piece of that still attached and you put a new gasket on and tighten it down, that will cause vacuum leaks. That will usually cause a lot of weird things, funky idle, lean condition, that kind of stuff. Another common problem, if everything seems to be working correctly but you're only getting half the gauge worth of boost or no boost at all, check this boost control solenoid. If these fail, they fail in the default that keeps it from making boost. So that's another thing to take a look at. You can take these off, blow through it, jump power to it, see if it closes off, see if it opens back up. If it does, it's fine. If it doesn't, or it stays open all the time, then replace this. If this is working correctly, make sure this arm right down here is moving. When you crank the car up, it should close the valve, and then under certain circumstances it should open, so you should see this move back and forth. If it's not moving, there's a possibility that this valve is bad right here, and the diaphragm inside this can be torn, so that's another thing to look at. Another common problem is just vacuum leaks in general. As you can see, especially on these 97 style vacuum leaks, there's a lot of vacuum hoses under here, so that's just another thing to keep an eye on, making sure none of these are cracked, torn, or whatever else. And then another common issue that I see with these is when you're changing the PCV valve, which is right here in case you didn't know where it was, the little gasket that sits under this plate is very hard to find. Some of the master intake manifold gasket sets will come with this. I don't even know another way to get that gasket by itself, but you can go to any auto parts store and get a little roll of paper gasket material, sit this bracket on it, trace it, including the holes, cut it out, stick that under there, or a little RTV, either one, and it will be perfectly fine. So that's another really common issue, but something that's very simple to fix. And of course, being a 3800, this is not supercharger related, but do keep an eye on the lower intake gaskets down there, because that's a common 3800 leak, and that's whether you're NA or supercharged. So more stuff to keep an eye out for there. So that's just a few things to keep an eye out for if you have the supercharged model. If there's anything else you'd like me to do videos on like this, problems with NA cars, 3800 in general problems, anything like that, drop it down in the comments because I do take you guys' suggestions pretty seriously. Make sure you drop this video a like if it was helpful or entertaining, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you see the next one when it comes out. I'm out of here for this one. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.